Hello, fellow gel printers. It's me, Rhonda, known as Griffiths, and I wanted to post this quick video because you know how they say necessity is the mother of invention? Well, as a gel printer, you probably know that in most cases your paper is not as big as your gel plate for like 9 by 12 and above because most paper in the US is smaller than that. And so we get these edges. Even with the tissue paper, you try to take off the excess paint. There's a lot left behind, at least for me there is. And we go through, and Patricia over at PM Artist Studio talks about cracking your edges, where you run your finger along the edge and you try and break the seal between the paint that's left and your paper. And sometimes it works, and sometimes you still get issues that can cause your edges to get really raggy or sometimes just plain tear. So happens to me a lot. Obviously I work on a 9 by 12, and I just got real frustrated one day, and I grabbed something that was on my desk and used it instead of my nail, and you know what? It worked. And I thought, ooh, okay. And so I've done it several times now, and I haven't had any issues with it. Now, you need to be gentle and careful. You don't want to be gouging your plate, but at the same time, I think it's a viable solution, one, for people who don't have a lot of thumbnail, or, you know, have a hard time with your fingers or your skin cracking, running it along this edge here. And so all this buildup for my silly little tip. Are you ready? It's a palette knife. A really thin one. And I chose a little guy. I have a big guy and a little guy. Doesn't matter if they're a little bit messed up. What matters is that it's really, really thin. It's a metal, so it's strong, but it's still flexible. And so here's what I did. For me, it was very easy. It wasn't really even a lot of, I'm not applying force on the gel plate. I'm not gouging the plate. I'm running it straight under the edge, and so it's breaking that connection between the dried paint here and the edge of your paper. Okay, so here we go. So I just kind of start in a corner and I run it along, and it's breaking the paint. I'm a little shaky. I had too much coffee today, sorry. So now it's real close to this edge, so it's a little bit harder. Now I am it's hard to describe. Instead of it being flush like this, I am tilting it down slightly so that the back end is pushed into the, not into, but against the plate, and the front end is sort of lifting. It's like prying the edge of the paper off. So as you go, you just hold that angle, and it breaks the seal between the paint and the paper. And then you turn it around, obviously, and you do the other edge. So now all my edges have the seal broken between the paint and the paper, and then when you lift it off, you're getting a nice clean edge. There's nothing sticking. There's no fuzzy edges. I mean, there is a little bit, but let's see if we can get this print off with nice clean edges. Just like that. Woo! I was afraid that was going to get wrecked up, but it didn't. So there you go. Use a palette knife. I guess it could be any other kind of tool, maybe a nail implement. I just found that the palette knife is super thin, which even some nail tools aren't. And the fact that it's thin, hard metal, but yet flexible, is not damaging my plate at all. I mean, you can see there's no indentation, there's no lines, there's no damage. And I've done this over and over again on this plate and my other one. And I just find it makes it so much easier. And it's actually faster than trying to, I've seen people try to, you know, pick all the edges up. And it just takes, it's a whole thing. And I don't like wasting time. So anyway, there you go. Crack your edges with a palette knife and hopefully it works for you too. All right, bye.